Since the dawn of civilization, human beings have searched for answers to explain the good and the bad in their lives. From natural disasters to sudden illness, unexpected failures to streaks of bad luck, people have always looked for patterns and reasons, something or someone to blame. Among the oldest and most enduring beliefs that has emerged across cultures is the concept of the evil eye. The evil eye is not just a myth or superstition. It is a rich psychological phenomenon that offers insight into human emotions, social dynamics, and coping mechanisms. At its core, the evil eye represents something very real, the fear of being harmed by others' jealousy. The evil eye is based on the idea that a person, intentionally or unintentionally, can cause harm to another person simply by looking at them with envy or ill-wishing. In different parts of the world, the belief may vary in form or name, but its essence remains the same: a harmful gaze that brings bad luck, misfortune, illness, or even death. This belief is found in Mediterranean cultures, South Asia, the Middle East, Latin America, and even parts of Europe. The question then arises, why has this idea survived for thousands of years, transcending geography and religion? The answer lies in the human mind. From a psychological perspective, the evil eye can be seen as a reflection of how we perceive envy. Envy is a deeply human emotion. It arises when we compare ourselves to others and feel that we are lacking something they possess, be it beauty, wealth, success, talent, or happiness. When someone else has what we want, especially when we feel that it is undeserved or unreachable for us, we may feel resentment. Even if we don't express it, that internal tension can be powerful. On the other hand, being the subject of envy can also make us feel uneasy. People who are admired for their success or attractiveness often fear that others might secretly wish them harm. That fear, conscious or unconscious, feeds into the belief in the evil eye. Psychologists argue that belief in the evil eye helps people deal with uncertainty and maintain a sense of control in an unpredictable world. For instance, when someone suddenly falls sick or faces a streak of bad luck, it can be emotionally overwhelming. Instead of blaming themselves or accepting it as random, people may turn to the idea of the evil eye. This belief provides a mental explanation. It suggests that the misfortune was not random or meaningless, but rather the result of someone else's envy. By assigning cause and effect, the person gains a sense of control. In this way, belief in the evil eye becomes a psychological defense mechanism. Another important aspect of the evil eye is its role in protecting self-esteem. When people experience failure or hardship, their self-worth may be threatened. However, attributing the negative outcome to the evil eye allows them to protect their ego. For example, a businessman who loses a major deal might believe it was because someone gave him the evil eye out of jealousy, rather than accepting that he made an error in judgment. This type of external attribution, blaming an outside force rather than oneself, can preserve confidence and reduce anxiety. In a way, it's easier to believe in a curse than to confront one's own weaknesses or mistakes. The fear of attracting envy can also influence behavior, often in subtle but powerful ways. In societies where belief in the evil eye is strong, people may avoid showing off their wealth, happiness, or achievements. They might hide their good fortune to avoid drawing attention. Parents may delay announcing a pregnancy or avoid posting baby pictures on social media, fearing that someone's jealousy could harm the child. This behavior is not just about modesty. It is a psychological strategy to stay safe from perceived harm. In this sense, the evil eye belief acts as a social regulator. It encourages humility, discourages excessive pride, and promotes a more even social playing field. Protective rituals and symbols also play a key role in how people psychologically deal with the fear of the evil eye. Across different cultures, people use charms and amulets, like the blue nazar bead in Turkey and Greece, or the hamsa hand in the Middle East, to guard against the evil eye. Some people recite prayers or perform specific rituals to cleanse themselves of its effects. These practices, while spiritual or religious on the surface, serve an important psychological function. They give people a sense of safety and comfort. When individuals feel vulnerable or exposed, these rituals provide a shield, both real and symbolic, that helps reduce anxiety and fear. Children are often believed to be especially vulnerable to the evil eye. In many cultures, babies are adorned with black threads, kohl, or amulets to protect them. The psychological reasoning here is clear. Infants are fragile and vulnerable, and new parents are often anxious about their well-being. Believing in the evil eye gives parents a way to express that anxiety and take protective action, even if the threat is symbolic. It becomes a way of saying, "I'm doing everything I can to protect my child." The ritual acts involved in protection can also provide emotional relief and a sense of control in an otherwise nerve-wracking situation. In some cases, the evil eye belief can even have positive social effects. It can act as a tool for social bonding and collective identity. Shared beliefs and rituals bring people together and reinforce group cohesion. Families, communities, or even entire cultures bond over mutual traditions of protecting themselves from envy. The belief becomes part of the social fabric, passed from one generation to another, carried in stories, proverbs, and daily practices. Even in modern societies, where science and reason dominate, these ancient beliefs persist. Why? Because human psychology has not fundamentally changed. We still fear what we can't control. We still feel envy, and we still want to be protected from it. However, the psychology of the evil eye can also have a darker side. In extreme cases, it can lead to paranoia, blame, and even harm. Some people become overly obsessed with the idea that others are constantly wishing them harm. They may cut off relationships, isolate themselves, or even act out against people they suspect of giving them the evil eye. In some parts of the world, accusations of casting the evil eye have led to social exclusion, violence, or even death. This highlights the importance of understanding the psychological roots of the belief and how it can both help and hurt. Interestingly, even people who claim not to believe in the evil eye often behave in ways that suggest otherwise. They might say mashallah when praising a child, or avoid complimenting someone too much. This kind of behavior shows how deeply the belief is embedded in cultural norms and psychological habits. Whether consciously or unconsciously, people internalize these ideas and act upon them, reinforcing the belief over time. In fact, studies in behavioral psychology suggest that superstition, in general, is not about logic, it's about emotion. People tend to believe what makes them feel safe, even if there's no scientific evidence to support it. Modern psychology recognizes the evil eye as a culturally shaped cognitive bias, an example of how people look for patterns and causes, even when there may be none. It is similar to the placebo effect in medicine. Believing that something works often makes people feel better, even if the thing has no real power. In the same way, believing in the evil eye can reduce anxiety, boost confidence, and create a sense of safety, even if there is no real curse involved. The mind is powerful, and belief itself can shape reality, for better or worse. The rise of social media has added a new dimension to the psychology of the evil eye. In a world where people constantly post pictures of their vacations, promotions, and personal achievements, the risk of envy is higher than ever. Some people feel pressure to present a perfect life online, while others fear that such exposure will attract negative energy. The concept of the digital evil eye has emerged, where people believe that even a virtual glance, through likes, comments, or silent envy, can cause harm. As a result, people are once again turning to ancient protective symbols, hashtags like #blessed or #grateful, or even limiting what they post to stay safe. In conclusion, the psychology of the evil eye reveals a fascinating intersection of emotion, belief, and behavior. It is a lens through which we can understand how humans process envy, fear, pride, and vulnerability. Though often dismissed as superstition, the belief has deep psychological roots that continue to shape our actions, relationships, and social structures. The evil eye may not exist in a literal sense, but its psychological effects are very real. Whether it serves as a shield, a warning, a bonding tool, or a reflection of our inner fears, the evil eye continues to watch over the human mind. And perhaps that is its true power.